I think it's right. All right, Ray Palmer, Shallon Sports. We are live here at the state-of-the-art college level weight room here at St. Peter's Boys High School. To my right, actually, why don't you introduce it? To my right, what do we have here? Who's this guy?
Yo, John Carlson, I'm offensive coordinator here at St. Peter's High School for the last 2 years. I did a 5-year stint back in I'd say about 15 to 19, and then I was out in New Jersey coaching youth football. And I'm just glad to be back here at my home, St. Peter's.
To my left,
Coach Clubby Gnerre,
Clubby,
as known in the neighborhood. Name is Rob. This is my 6th year here at St. Peter's, or 7th. I'm the defensive coordinator, strength and conditioning coach, coach the DBs. This is really only my coaching stint besides youth football. That's it.
And just knowing these guys personally, the dedication to the game of football in St. Peter's is unsurpassed. Your own personal coaching beliefs versus that as a team effort. I've seen so many coaches on the field today, right? So I'll start with you, Clubby. Your own personal coaching beliefs and how that aligns with the direction of St. Peter's football.
Well, there really is no one way to do it. The beauty of it is coaching. Everybody operates under one umbrella, and we all have a different way of getting there, right? So the road that we take isn't necessarily maybe what the other coach wants, but as long as we're able to get there under the same point and follow what he installs and we down that road, we do have the freedom, which I like, to kind of go our own way to a certain point. As long as we all get to that ending together, that's kind of how it is, I think.
Coach Carlson, St. Peter, your own personal philosophies versus that of the team core overall.
Well, I truly believe, like, when it comes to your coaching philosophy and what the game means to you, there's only really 2 things you can absolutely control with regards to the football field and with with regards to the players. The biggest thing is your attitude and your effort. And here at St. Peter's, we thrive and we strive on making sure these young men are responsible and they come in here and they give us, the best effort and also, keep the best attitude. Along with what Coach Clubby said, when we're all operating, as a unit and moving to strive for excellence on the football field, as long as all the coaches and everybody were all on the same page, is huge. You don't want to have people operating outside of the common goal or the ultimate goal with, regards to changing these young boys into men and then obviously, putting a product out on the football field to win.
Is this Jersey Jack? It's Jersey Jack. Awfully calm right now. I like it. This is professional Jack.
Yeah,
it's definitely professional Jack.
My biggest impression today, I never played it down in my life, right? So the amount of adults, the guys in that room behind us, the 2 with me here, just the amount of adults not standing around doing nothing, right? That was my biggest takeaway. Everyone was doing something, from JV to the varsity. Had to be 25 adults, around there anyway, working on it. So that leads to the next question. Your strategy for developing players, both on and off the field. Your relationship on the field, Coach Jack, Coach Carlson, and obviously what you do with them off the field, because you equate those relationships as lifelong, right?
Yes, it like you said, right. You talk about lifelong friendships back when I was here in 2014 and 15. These young men that grew up now, are some of my really good friends. You know what I mean? You develop this bond and this ultimate love and friendship. When you go through something like a football season together. With regards to player development, I think here at St. Peter's with the direction of the program, with Coach Clubby and Principal Cosentino, these guys are in here working after Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? So it starts. It's a year-long process, and these gentlemen work extremely hard. They're extremely prepared. And they've taken a direction to take this program to the next level the last couple of years. And it starts after Thanksgiving when he has these kids in the weight room. You know what I mean? And then, as far as your coaching, with regards to the kids, it's early on in camp. Right now, I'm going to be very hard on you. I'm going to nitpick you. I'm going to make you hate me. That hate ultimately will turn to trust. And then at the end of all of this, whether you win a state championship, you win a city championship, or you go 0-5, it ultimately turns to love in a lifelong relationship.
Chloe, same thing for you. It's developing players, both on and off. And you're in a unique situation, right? Your son,
Yes.
One of the starting linebacker, one of the running backs here. So you're in a unique situation where one of your own kids,
it's tough.
One of the leaders of the team.
Yeah, that's not the easiest thing in the world to do. But Jack is right. you're here so many hours. You spend hours and hours and hours here with them. You just become close. It is a second family. And funny thing is, like, you learn everything you need to know about life in a football locker room. Okay, it's camaraderie, it's the friendships, it is lifelong bonds. You can't go through what you go through a football season without the adversity, without relying on each other and knowing that each person's gonna have your back. We're doing 14-hour days here starting Saturday. Like, these kids can't get through it alone. They need each other. One person goes down, they pick each other up. And as far as like doing it, ideally you break the kid down and then you build them up. So you break them down and build them up, and you try to get the most out of that player through the rest of the year. And that's where Coach Jack said, the trust builds up and the love builds up. You break them down right, and then you just keep building them and building them and building them up until they trust you with everything. And that's it. And that's kind of how my theory is.
Success kicks in.
Yep.
Last question, just really quick. So expectations for the season, right? If you're an outsider looking in, you have Aruda.
100%.
The offense was Jeremiah Williams, best running back in the city, in my opinion, right? And Marco Aruda. You throw in Salou Jahani, right? A lot of the production offensively
100%
to graduation, right? So how do you feel about the new guys, and what are the expectations for the season going forward?
Well, I mean, if you want me to start first,
Yeah,
to lose two players like Marco Aruda and Jeremiah Williams is, you're talking about over 20 touchdowns between 40 touchdowns between the two guys.
Give it a six,
you're talking
right?
about
Give it a
close,
six.
yeah, close to 3,000 yards of offense. Not including what they did on special teams. So it's very hard to replace those guys. But we have a young group of guys coming in. We have a good senior class. Gnerre coming in here and being a leader. And he's going to be on both sides of the ball this year. And you know what? He's a 200-pound kid that runs. So we're gonna take that next step with the next group of kids coming in here. You got to feel good about some young kids coming through this program. Right? You got Ben Terry, a sophomore. You got the kid Baez, who's a sophomore. Like, these kids are ferocious football players, and we're not going to back down. Like you said, we're cut from the Mark DeCristoforo cloth. It's an offensive scheme that we've put a tremendous amount of time in, and this is now an all-year thing. It's constant research, and then adapting to way teams are going to align to us, and then we keep the train moving. So it's like, the constant evolving of the offensive philosophy that, hopefully Mark and myself and other coaches here at St. Peter's have put a tremendous amount of time into doing. If you're not going to play sound football against us, you're going to pay the price. And I don't care who you are.
Club, kind of same for you. The
my theory
expectations
is,
for the season.
I'm going to go on record saying I think we have the best staff in the city. I will go to war with the staff, and I'm going to say it. So I think our expectations are high. The level of preparedness here, I think, is unparalleled. The work that Jack and Mark put in on the offensive side of the ball is, I can attest for it, the hours of the group texts that go off. It's really something. It's really something. Now, that being said, everybody likes to say, we lost 16 seniors and all this other stuff, but guess what? We're the unknown right now. No one knows, hey, what can St. Peter's do? They lost 16 seniors. But the beauty of it is, in this sport, next man up. And they had great leadership last year, these juniors, with the class that graduated, and they're stepping right in. And you know what? People think that we lost all those guys, that we're not going to be able to compete. I think it's going to be the opposite. I think we're going to come out rocking and rolling, and we're going to have a great 16 days here, and I think the sky's going to be the limit for us. I think the only thing that's going to hurt us is ourselves.
Yeah, right. We're young. We're
young, man.
About how young the team is.
Absolutely.
But you still gotta
young doesn't mean no
some
players.
Of these young players,
doctors.
like a Alex Badon, who benches 600 pounds. Chris Badon, who benches 600, squats 600 pounds, and he's playing in the middle for us. Or a kid who works as hard as Anthony DeCanto. I've never seen a kid put so much next level training and all year round training into his craft. And this young man is ready to play football.
Well, I saw DeCanto on the field today,
Yes.
and you working with him, and you were explaining to me the difference between the ball almost being thrown too fast and too hard.
Yeah.
It was such arm strength, throwing a catchable ball.
100%.
We'll wrap this up, and I look forward to getting a chance to watch and to broadcast all the home games here at St. Peter's with the gentleman to my right, to the gentleman to my left. Tune in. Go head over to Ferry Hawk Stadium. 16 days, first time ever. Curtis Peters, not basketball.
Nope.
On the gridiron, 16 days. Ray Palmer,
Battle,
Channel Sports.
103.
Thank you, Coach Carlson.
Yo,
Man.
Thank you,
man.
Coach Clubby.
That's it.
Appreciate you, man.
Got it, fellas.
All right. It was good. I wonder how long that was.
Well, bro.
10 minutes.
Hey, you didn't.